Hi everyone, I'm Fernanda, and here is part 2 of my OC's lore! I just want to thank you guys so much for the support on my last OC video. It made me so happy reading all of your nice comments, so hopefully you guys will enjoy this part too. Also, I definitely should have mentioned this in my last video, but my story is actually set in the early 2000s. 2005 to be more specific. I just really love the early 2000s, and I was personally born in 2005, so I thought it'd be fun to explore things that were happening around that year. I also want to point out that having powers in this world isn't common. Most normal people are afraid of people that do have powers, so that's why when they do encounter one, they'll immediately go to report them because they're scared of them. These are definitely things I should have mentioned in my last video, but they slipped my mind until I saw some comments about it. Thank you for that though. Alright, now with that out of the way, now we can get started with my OCs. First, let's start off with Nadine. Nadine, alongside the other two I'm going to be talking about, actually don't have any powers and are just normal people. She's also a very shy girl at school. She isn't a complete loner though. She has her group of friends but is still very nervous when it comes to talking to people. She's extremely smart, and despite her not being extremely popular, she's still pretty well liked around school. She recently just got a new stepbrother called Damien and is trying her best to get along with him, but things still remain awkward between them. She's trying her best to get along with him, but Damien doesn't want her to find out about his powers, and so he's trying to keep his distance but is still trying to keep things on friendly terms. Nadine doesn't know that though, so she's constantly trying to spend time with him in order to get closer. She's also very into true crime, so when she hears that Daphne has gone missing, she decides to try to find out what happened to her. Also, I don't really know if it's noticeable, but I did tweak her design a bit. It honestly isn't much. All I did was change her hairstyle a bit and change her eye color to purple because I just really liked the way that looked on her. And that's honestly pretty much it. I have so much more I want to say about her, but it's a lot of spoilers and I still want to keep some of those things secret, so this is all you'll get of her for now. Also, if you guys want to see all of these drawings in their entirety, plus more information about my OCs, then you can go see them on today's sponsor, Unveil. That's right, we have our very first sponsor. Thank you so much to Unveil for sponsoring this video. Unveil is a platform made for artists, writers, and creatives all over the world. Unveil is the perfect platform to share and dump all of your OCs lore onto. As you may know, I have quite a bit of OCs, and sometimes I don't get to share as much as I want to, but thanks to Unveil, I'm able to do that thanks to all the features they have on there. They have a characters section where you can write down your OC's traits and personalities, a world building section, and so much more. It's amazing. There are over 150 creatives on Unveil that have so many amazing stories to share and are a really warm and welcoming community, which is so encouraging. Not to mention that Unveil is also anti-AI, which is such a blessing. And it's also Unveil's 1-year anniversary, and to celebrate, they have an event going on called Glitch in the Multiverse. In this event, you can create a piece that shows your OC being glitched into another universe. This is a really great chance to see other people's creations and a fun way to join and learn about other people's worlds. So if you're interested, you should definitely give it a shot. Once again, thank you so much to Unveil for sponsoring this video, and make sure to try Unveil out using the link in my description. Now let's get back to my OCs. Next, we have my boy Jackson, or Jax for short. He's just a chill dude that is the definition of living in the moment. Him and Nova are best friends that love goofing around and getting into trouble. Jackson has also been noticing that Nova's been spending a lot of time with the new kid Damien though. It doesn't really look like they're getting along, but he still finds it weird that despite Nova complaining about Damien earlier, that they still spend time together. Jackson has tried asking Nova what he and Damien have been doing, but for some reason it seems that Nova isn't telling him the truth. They've been friends for years now and they tell each other everything. Well, except a few things. Jackson's got a big old crush on Melanie that he hasn't told Nova about. But he's not planning on telling her how he feels anytime soon since he thinks she's too good for him. So in his mind, he technically doesn't have to tell Nova since he's not planning on acting on his feelings. So other than that, they have no secrets between each other, right? Well, not exactly. Despite them being extremely close, Nova hasn't told Jackson about his and Melanie's powers. It's not that he thinks that Jackson will tell on them, he knows he wouldn't cause he's just that good of a person. But just cause he wouldn't tell on them doesn't mean that he wouldn't be afraid of them. And Nova doesn't want to lose his best friend, and so he hasn't told him anything yet, which he thinks is for the best, but because of that, He can't tell Jackson that the reason him and Damien have been hanging out a lot is because they're trying to figure out how Daphne died, which would then mean having to tell Jackson about his powers, which is the last thing he wants. But just because Nova thinks he's doing what's best doesn't mean that Jackson will automatically understand. He's starting to doubt his best friend, which he hates himself for doing, but he's sure that Nova will tell him eventually, right? He's also decided to start talking to Nadine to see if she knows anything, but she's also just as curious as him, so now they're working together to try to find out what they're hiding from them. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for Jackson and Nadine. They just want to know what's going on. But it's for the story, so they'll have to deal with it. I'm sorry. And last but certainly not least, we have Daphne. Like I mentioned in my last video, Daphne is the most popular girl in school and comes from a very wealthy and influential family. She's the captain of the cheerleading team, thinks very highly of herself, and is very picky about the people who she chooses as her friends. She's actually the one that convinced Melanie to dye her hair blonde because she thought her old hair made her look too gloomy. She knows the influence she has and she loves it. She's brutally honest and gets what she wants whenever she wants. Everything was perfect until it wasn't. One day she woke up and she was a ghost. She had died. As a ghost now, she has no memories of her previous life, so she doesn't know what happened to her. She also doesn't remember being a mean and harsh person. Ghost Daphne is much nicer than her previous self. That's thanks to her losing her memories and because she's surrounded by better people now. Once she noticed that Damien could see her, she decided to try to get him to help her find out how she died and help her move on. She loves teasing and annoying Damien in her free time and was delighted to see that someone else other than Damien could see her, which was Nova. Neither one of them have told her about what she was like while she was alive, but that's because she's convinced that she was an amazing person by how much people talk about her. They don't want to make her feel bad by telling her that she was actually really mean and stuck up, so they're gonna keep it a secret. They say it's for the best. These characters sure love their secrets. Also, just a side note, I feel like alive Daphne would definitely hate me for killing her, but it was for the plot, so it's okay. Me and Ghost Daphne would definitely be friends though. And that's all of my OCs for now. I honestly want to say way more about these characters, but a lot of their future arcs have spoilers, which I really don't want to say yet, so I hope you still will like what I said. Thank you guys so much for watching me yap about my OCs. It honestly made me so happy to see all of your nice comments about them, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one too. These guys have literally been taking over my head, so it's nice to finally be able to just yap about them and just blurt out anything I want to say about them. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Also, don't forget to check out Unveil if you want to see these drawings and so much more. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.